So here we are. Eastern Manchester. We're on the canal. This is the Rochdale Canal. So yeah. Change of scenery. There we go. It is very, very rainy. That's still no excuse not to go for a walk. Let's go down the lethal cobbles. So yeah, this is day 4 of week 6. I was going to go for a run this morning, but I actually had, unusually for me, a social commitment. So I went and hung out and had breakfast. But right near where I am and have breakfast is this rather lovely canal. And I like canals. The scenery changes really rapidly. And the advantage of doing this in the rain, even though I'm going to get soaking wet, is that I can walk along here undisturbed and disturbing nobody. So yeah, had a bit of a dietary fail last night, had a couple of donuts, not a good idea, which meant that when I woke up this morning I really didn't feel like going for a run. So I've pretty much found the only sort of treat thing that doesn't make me feel absolutely destroyed the next day now. And that's a feeling I was used to having, but the thing is getting up early in the morning, getting out of bed, getting a move on and stuff like that. The thing is that I didn't used to do that. I used to, get out of bed at about 11 or 12 in the morning, stroke afternoon, get ready for work and go out. And that would be all I would achieve in a day. So eating that kind of diet, yes, if you don't really need to get up early in the morning, you don't really need to get anything done, then yeah, you're in that place where you just don't want to get out of bed. So that really slowed me up today, so I'm going to try and not do that. This is interesting. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that massive antenna? This is definitely a radio ham antenna. Look, there's an extendable antenna to go up as high as possible. Quite how you get planning permission for that, I'm not sure. You might be able to make out, you might not, but that's pretty impressive. So yeah, that's the thing about canals, is that stuff that you would never see from the roadside. These canals were all built in the 1800s because, as you can see today, water will just not stop falling out of the sky in the UK. And that's pretty much Western Europe. So quite a lot of other countries in Western Europe have got them. But it just wouldn't make any sense to, really in the US. And by the time the US had the industrial capacity to do something like this, they had trains. And by the time they finished the canals, about 50 years later, they were just laying in train tracks. So it was a very short-lived, it's almost like the Pony Express of the UK. It just wasn't in use for very long. Pony Express was rapidly replaced by telegraph. But yes, so not much going on, but there are lots of these lovely bridges and locks for you to have a look at while you're here, sort of like proper Edwardian Victorian technology. Yeah, and this is why we have waterproof enclosures for cameras. That's why I don't mind getting wet. I haven't got too long to do this, work commitments and stuff. So yes, I was sure I had an idea for something to talk about this morning, apart from my falling off the wagon on diet. So really it is a case of processed food is like a bad thing if you want to be agile. You know, if you want to be able to get up and do stuff. It's definitely a thing. And there was a newspaper story today in the free newspaper about how processed food was bad. It is kind of amazing that you know, pretty much I have gone my entire life and people have repeatedly said, look, you know, don't eat too much sugar, don't eat so much fat, you know, don't smoke, get exercise, all that stuff. That's like standard, you know, advice for living longer. But the mad thing is that people don't listen to it, and I didn't listen to it for the longest time. Well, for, you know, 40 odd years. And if they just said, you know, look, it would be kind of deadly if, you know, and useful if you can run with some weight. You know, it would be, you know, you get more done and you get to do more stuff for yourself if you wake up earlier in the morning and you make your bed. But if you do that, you're already setting yourself up for a really successful day. Nobody ever couches it in the right terminology where you can just think, oh yeah, fair enough, I believe you. Well, look at this. See, this is the stuff you find out. So there's a whole park that I didn't know the existence of within walking distance of where I live. How amazing is that? So yeah, so there's this whole thing where people never tell you they never give a good enough reason for the stuff that they're going to tell you. And it's just bloody annoying. But that's what we're here to do. I'm annoyed enough to make media. And that's pretty annoyed indeed. So yeah, so there isn't a run today. There will be one tomorrow. Definitely want to get out for at least one more run before doing the 1.5 miles. And I'd like to do a lot better. At least one. So yeah, let's go to the park. So yeah, canals are interesting because now look, it went from suburban to industrial in the space of a 1/4 mile. You know, completely different scenery. So yeah, so there's going to be, that's a bad feeling. Ah, right, because this is a swing bridge. Look at this. So you've got the canal here. And you've got a handle here. And you can, if you had the padlock key. And I guess it's one of those things where you either need a lock keeper and then this just swings round. I'm willing to bet it just goes this way. But yeah, that was a freaky feeling. But yeah, little swing bridge. Isn't this interesting? Let's go and molest some swans. Oh, geese. So yes, this would be a good place to fly a drone. That's if my drone's still legal. That's a basic problem with it. So yeah, it is horrible weather today, but sometimes it's a good idea to get out in horrible weather. Oh yeah, the fear of discomfort. That was something I was going to talk about. And yeah, I've long been a proponent of be uncomfortable. Be uncomfortable on your own terms with your own kit, and then when you are not as uncomfortable another time, it's nothing. So yes. So this is a big old park with no one in it. Might be an interesting place to go during term time. All the geese are running around. Have to walk through them. This is where I get attacked by... See, something definitely interesting could happen today. I could get attacked by geese. And I can take one out in self-defense. Don't even. But yeah, there's a lot of them. They're all grubbing for worms now that the grass has been mown. So yeah, I was sensibly aware that the angry monkey was possibly going to eat one of them. I tie your neck in a knot. So yeah, this is interesting. I have no idea where I am, and I have no idea what that is over there. It's kind of like a fenced off area over there. No idea what that is, but it bears further exploration. And this is why you should get out. It's another good reason of like knowing some nooks and crannies in your own neighbourhood. A little woodland walk. So some shelter from the woods, from the rain rather. Yeah, I'm sorry about the video quality. It is throwing it down. But you know, if you're going to say I went for a walk, then kind of like video technology is so cheap that it's kind of video or it didn't happen. But they've thoughtfully laid down a load of bark chippings, which is cool. But it's still pretty walkable. That runs out in a minute. But yeah, interesting. Where are we? So yeah, see, there's a little thing. I don't know what that is. Obviously some sort of building was here. Yeah. Explore. So yeah, you know, just get used to discomfort. Do uncomfortable on your own terms. So you're not, you know, at the mercy of the elements, or you don't get completely depressed when the environment isn't exactly to your liking. Yeah, this isn't as closed off or wild as the woodland I'm normally in. It's still pretty interesting. So yeah, groovy little bridge, but it is entertainingly throwing it down. So yeah, I wonder how you get out of this park, because I'm fairly near the main road, so the park should come out. Oh, and I've also come across to this bit. I'll walk across here. I'll have a look, see what this is. See, if I was homeless, there's so much rough underbrush around here. If I was sort of, you know, begging in Manchester or something, trying to survive, I would bushcraft the shit out of this. I'd get straight in there, but not come in till it was dark and make sure I was getting up early in the morning. But there again, although you can look at that and go, but homelessness is not about logical people dealing with it. There's very few people that are completely okay psychologically and don't have issues that are actually homeless. Because although it never looks like it, there are systems in place. You know, you can survive. Oh, so it's a children's playground. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. This is a very tidy looking park that I didn't know was here. And this would be a nice spot for a picnic. Yeah, this could be a good place in the summer when it's not persisting down. But yeah, definitely, you know, this is why it's worth going for an explore. And I pretty much was set on where I currently live purely because of the woodland that's near me, because I could see it had potential for filming. And yeah, so there are still bits. I've never walked along that canal before, and I've lived in the house for a year. So it's all about, you know, have a look at Google Maps and go to satellite and see if there are any big green bits near you, and see if they're open land or whether they're, you know, designated off. But yes. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave it for today. This will be my chunk of exercise for today, and hopefully I'm going for a run tomorrow morning, and hopefully the weather will have improved. But it is Manchester, it rains here a lot. So, thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching, and do take care.